It was, I think, advantageous because I kind of understood what the teacher was talking
What
about.
was the course in college?
I was in marketing.
Marketing.
And therefore, I could relate because
Right.
when you're doing something normally you'd take your practicum after.
Right.
But
This
if
time sabay.
this time you're doing it sabay. So as I'm being taught the theories in school, it kind of made more sense because I could relate to it right away.
How are you performing in terms of academics? This is a tradition in this show, I'm sorry. We will have to ask.
In academics, I passed all my subjects. I think at that maybe when you're already I mean, as a working student, I felt that the objective was really just to
pass.
Parang ganon. It tended to be that way because you're enjoying the application simultaneously.
I would like to understand, when you were younger, what type of person are you? Were you some kind of like maraming kaibigan or a loner or something?
I think it was a balanced childhood, although I had to adjust probably when you transfer to a new school, then
Right.
it's time to adjust again. Basically, your set of friends in high school are usually the lasting ones.
Right, right.
And yeah, I had my days of going out.
1988, you started the business. 88, is that 88?
We started in
This Thailand merger.
And merger started in 93. Thailand started in 89.
Okay, what was the first greatest fear in coming up with this kind of business? I mean, this business model may not work.
Yes.
So what was the greatest fear?
As what you said, it's the fear of it not working. In any venture, there's always a portion of it that makes you worry whether it's gonna succeed or not.
Who were with you during the time? At least to easen up. Kahit paano medyo
My
gumawa-
sister, for merger, it's my sister. She coined the idea. She encouraged me into putting up another men's store, and she felt that probably I think maybe the asset that we have in our own business is our ability to choose and know what would sell, and she felt that by venturing again into a men's store,
Nauna siya magkaroon ng business?
we were practically almost sabay. Sabay.
It's like a side by side, no?
Right,
Encouragement na lang.
right. Basically, it was also way back from experience. Usually, the so-called lakas ng loob to venture into a business is born out of experience.
Your store is pretty different from the others. You know, the first time I saw this merger, I cannot even recognize this merger. Is that part of the strategy, something that you do for the company?
I guess you mean you didn't recognize the store or the sign or
the signage. I think you are positioning at some.
I did that intentionally. Sometimes I'd rather that when somebody passes by the storefront, they notice first the merchandise.
Right. But they are beautiful. I mean, the arrangement, you're going to see it.
That's also done purposely. Definitely in terms of retail, what I've learned so far is that apart from, it's a matter of how you present the product.
Right.
Especially with Thailand in particular, we focused really on how the neckties are presented, how you should make it easier for the shopper to view the merchandise, and things are done by color, things are done by pattern.
Parang may science,
There has to be. I think in retail, not too many people know that in retail there's a deep science involved.
Right.
And
without the science, you're not going to make it.
That's what we were when we started. We were into retail without the science. And it took that whole experience that we sold our first venture then that when we got into retail all over again, that it was application time. And it's not all about just having the funds to put up a store. It really requires analyzing
So you
sales.
had to go through that failure in order for you to realize.
Exactly. In the time when we were younger then.
Younger means?
Meaning I'm 19, as I said when I started when I was 19. It was fun at the same time. We were doing work because we were enjoying it at the same time.
Right.
But it can't be all fun all the time. Sometimes you'll really have to do your homework. You'll have to do pencil
How did you
pushing.
respond to that kind of failure? I mean, knowing that, you started something and, this is not working.
At that time, it wasn't really a failure because when we sold the initial business, we sold it at its peak.
Okay. So para may nakuha pa din, may
yes. But then I thought that was a chance for me to get into something different apart from garments. But
but the emotional attachment to something that you started. I mean,
to start again after a business has been sold, I'll tell you, I felt very insecure again.
Right.
The jitters of starting another business altogether is there. I think it will happen. It'll never
get away with it.
No. There's always that part that you'll probably have to just base on gut feel.
Right.
Not all the time you'd be certain with a venture that you get into. There's always a part of it that's a gamble that you just have to.
You don't have any choice but to take it.
No, you just have to proceed, and you can only do your own calculations and your own project and feasibility studies.
In coming up with this kind of business, did it require you to give out some cash, cold cash?
In what sense? What do you mean?
Capital.
Of course. In any business, I guess that's one crucial part is the initial investment part. But then I always try to get into a business that require the least number of in terms of capital input and pinakamababa and pinakakonting tao involved. So I try to stay on the safe side when I start.
So I'm going to talk to you again later in the program. Okay. But before we go for a break, I'm going to show you the picture, and then you're going to do the monologue. Okay? Make the picture talk.
Oh, it's a photo of two guys. I think one is doing a presentation while the other one fell asleep. I think it's a result of maybe it was a boring presentation and therefore it allowed his colleague to not to pay attention and just end up falling asleep.
Right. Okay. Sige po. Babalikan ko po kayo later, sir, in the program.
Okay. Thank you.
Ahead, what could have been your choice? What could have happened if we followed our parents' or teachers' advice to save some cash, no matter how small? What could have happened if we didn't give in to the instant gratification? What could have happened if we knew what it takes to be financially free? Stick with GNN.